Let's talk about a typical competition. And I know that you mentioned judging a couple of times. That takes place, correct me if I'm wrong, but on a small part of the circuit with a few linking corners, right, that provide for good viewing and then opportunities to drift. But the rest of the circuit, not as important, but it does help control temperature of the tires and setting up the car for that judging that occurs in the corner. Do I have that right?
Yeah, somewhat. Some of the places we use all of it. Like
Okay.
Irwindale Speedway, it's a bank. We use the big bank and the small bank and the infield. It's the road courses usually that we use part of, and it's a start and finish. And you do come to a stop every time before you restart the run. But yeah, basically the competition aspect of it. There's a seating bracket now that's based on the previous event and where you are in the standings, and that basically places you in a bracket. You'll have practice usually for about 4 hours or so of track time previous to that. And this is the competition aspect side of it, not the fun side of it. But
Yeah, right.
not that they both can't be fun. But yeah, so basically, the strategy is, or the layout is, you lead one run as a driver, and then you'll chase one run, and that the judges will decide who wins. There's usually three judges. Some of the other series have brought in up to five, just so that it's a little bit more easy to make decisions on that aspect. But it's your job as a lead car driver to do a 100-point run the best it can be. If you don't do that, they deduct you from that. And in the chase position, it's your job to basically mimic what the lead car is doing and their ability to do that. Obviously, a really, really good lead should make a really, really good chase. A so-so lead can make a so-so chase. So you can see where the judging gets a little bit difficult and complex there. But they have a basically large string of things that they're looking for, and they're deciphering what's happening on what car affects each, and then you decide a winner. Most tracks in Formula Drift are 2 to 5 turns. Some of the 2-turn tracks are really actually huge tracks, and we wouldn't make it much more than 2 turns on a pair of tires. And some of the 5 or 6 turn tracks are usually smaller, so that we can actually make it through the 2 laps. And yes, it is tough to get 2 laps out of a pair of tires.
And the level of smoke is also judged, correct?
The level of smoke isn't really judged unless it's in a part where you're not making smoke and you should, and then it
Okay.
kind of tells them if you're on or off the throttle. But the level of smoke becomes a huge difficulty from the chase, because you're sometimes driving through a complete whiteout.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you have to have the precision being right on their door, and it gets to be tough. For me, I usually will take some laps during practice in the lead in spots where you can get what we call like smoked out, and I'll just close my eyes and count and open them to make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. So that way, during the run, if I do get smoked out, I actually usually have more context to what's happening than my eyes being closed. So
Right. Right.
it's okay to drive through it and have your timing at that point.